Welcome to another Motortown post-race commentary. We have the Jalopies of Jeju event today, which is of course using the ultra-light vehicles with inline-4 engines. These are some of the lightest regular cars in the game. Very easy to lose control over them, and yeah, what can I say? The races are going to be carnage. As to be expected with these, so strap in, buckle up, it's gonna be quite a bumpy ride. Let's get going. We are going to be a few seconds before we start here. I just wanted to show you guys the starting grid alongside some of the other cars and their customization. I'm to the back of the middle in the field, and this is definitely not a great position to be in. And yeah, we should be getting started here in a moment. Of course, once again, using the event system with checkpoints and everything, which is still just a godsend for the racing events here, making everything so much easier. And yeah, another thing I want to quickly talk about here while I have the time. I recently changed my video recording settings to go up to 1440p. Up the bitrate a little bit, and so far I haven't seen any complaints from other people watching my videos. I mean, I haven't mentioned it before, so that might be playing into that. But yeah, anyways, if you have any complaints, let me know. Otherwise, I might not be able to change anything because for me it looks fine. And yeah, what didn't look fine was the first turn there. Let's quickly go back here because this needs a play-by-play. So, we start, I'm somewhere in the middle. Things immediately go wrong in the front and I decide to hit the brakes, just approach the corner with a bit of caution. The person behind me apparently didn't get that notice or didn't think that was necessary, because they continued to just push me right into the frame. And yeah, I just tried to back out, block somebody else in the process. I mean, there wasn't really much else that I could have done there. But yeah, I tried to get off the way. There's another person on the roof there, and yeah, it all went off pretty quickly, and it's not about to stop. Yeah, two more intersections further down. This is the main road through the town. We have a truck coming in from the left, people getting stuck on it. I was hoping it would maybe just continue, therefore I tried to aim for the rear, because if the car is going this way, it's usually a bad idea to try and cut through in front of it. But yeah, it stopped, and yeah, it kind of stopped me as well. But from this point on, apart from the usual sliding, which I'm not the only one having issues with, things at least kinda go well. At least now we don't have to deal with traffic and absolute carnage anymore for a while. It's going to come back, don't worry. And that was already almost one of those instances. I think that person just reset. And I think they caught out two others according to the map there. And yeah, at this point I am very careful because you see what everybody else is doing. These vehicles are nasty sometimes, especially over bumps, and this track, while it is decently wide, you usually want to take advantage of the sidewalk and all of that. So that's usually kind of part of the track. Also, trying to cut too much over here, spun out, kind of getting in the way of a guy behind me, and this is about to get worse. So I was trying to just brake for the next corner and slightly turning in. I don't know what the hell happened, but the car just went completely sideways. And I just ended up kinda blocking them in, and Becky here ended up just pushing me through the checkpoint, otherwise I might have even missed that. So yeah, really not going according to plan, and I don't even know what happened to even cause that maneuver to begin with. Might have been too much on the brakes, might have been too much steering in, but what happened there was definitely not intended. And yeah, we are continuing. First lap is almost over. Guy in front of me just flips over. I slightly graze them, and yeah, my low front spoiler is doing me in here. Getting stuck on the ledge, not being able to return to the track, resetting with return to road and all of that doesn't really work either because of me being wanted by the police, and this is a lot. And the entire event kinda was. Another guy coming through there, just need to make sure to not hit the traffic. So yeah, this is all just what it's gonna be for the next few races as well. Apart from the fact that evidently this track was pretty much the widest one that we are going to deal with today. The other ones are kinda worse. So yeah. Person in front of me having radiator issues. Also bumping issues, and I just managed to avoid that. Try to avoid the Rutus tanker here, going on the sidewalk, and yeah, it just spins me out. Going back on track, trying to avoid other people and just letting that guy pass unless they turn out to be too slow. Psychic Evil on the on their side there, just waiting for a reset. As I said, the entire race is going to be carnage, and I don't want to blame the track too much. But yeah, this is not the version that I actually worked on. I thought we were going to be using mine, but I think yeah, mine wasn't in the official database on the TWL Discord at that point. So that might have had something to do with it. This is more like a very good way to place the checkpoints without editing them afterwards. But yeah, I think mine would have maybe been a bit better, but I don't think it would have changed much overall. It was always going to be carnage. And looking at how this is going, I kinda hope the next Inline 4 Ultralight event might be featuring a few more forgiving tracks. All the sidewalks, all the bumps and traffic and that kind of stuff, not really that great here. Anyway, second track, and this was thrown in rather spontaneously. This is actually going to be, I don't know why it's so white in the bottom, I think it might be a contrast thing. This is actually a rallycross tag, which is why I'm using a different car here, because the other one started out as a rallycross car, but I now tuned it for road racing, and this one should be much better here. At least I hope so. Also, of course, while the race starts, it also starts raining, so maximum carnage is kind of guaranteed at this point. Also, so many engine noises that the noise kinda cuts out. And yeah, I'm just trying to somehow hang in here. Thankfully, recently we got the reworked flower banks on the side, so they are not quite as deadly anymore. Becky, we are having some issues, and I think it's about to get worse, because I think I'm getting fully wiped out here in a moment. And I know Becky kinda just slowing down a lot. I'm trying to go past, and yeah, now he's just pushing me really weirdly. We're going to see something about that in chat in a moment. Yeah, a controller freaking out, so that must have been it. But yeah, that definitely sucked, and honestly, this entire track being thrown in rather spontaneously, Becky's still on my side. This road might be a tiny bit too narrow for proper racing. It's really hard to overtake, even in these really small cars. We're going to see an overtaking attempt, I think, in the second lap. And it's just really hard to make that work, especially with the walls there. I think if we want to do the track again, we might need to bypass this road, and that would mean going on the dirt, he would just go straight, then 90-degree turn left, and then another straight until we get back to this point. It might be a bit boring and that might not make for a worthwhile track, but that narrow area there, I am not a fan. And from what I've seen after the event, I think this might not get used anymore, at least not in the current state. It's just been maybe a bit much. But hey, always worth trying it out. Also worth trying to brake, but sometimes the car just goes sideways and I just slide into that metal pole there. So at this point I'm pretty comfortably in last place, with some radiator damage to boot, so this is all going... I mean, it's going, and it's gonna keep going until the race is done. But yeah, after the last race I'm also kinda just carrying the car across some bumps. I don't think it's necessary with this one. It's an off-road ready car to begin with, and the tuning should have helped that work out even better. But yeah, I think some post-event tuning might be in order. Honestly, maybe I should just switch over to different cars. The Coma, which is the Mini Cooper lookalike, and also the new Neo might be better choices in general. But at that point I might just be giving up on my nice little blue race kite. I don't want to do that, even if it is kind of shit. So yeah. And yeah, there goes this overtaking attempt, or not even that. It's just really hard to race on this road in particular at all. And if you get stuck on the wall, you usually turn around and then you're blocking at least half the track. I don't know what happened there, and on my side I don't think I was involved. It might have been the guy bouncing off me, who knows. And luggage going for a very wide line there. Another little bus coming up in front. Didn't see that until the last moment, but thankfully I was out of the way to begin with, so it wasn't really a problem. And yeah, I was considering to maybe get another Neo or something. I have two already. I don't want to rework any of them to work with inline 4 engines, so it would have needed to be a third, but for this event I decided against it. This came up rather spontaneously, so I decided to just use the vehicles that I have already. I didn't really find the time to do much else here. There we now have to deal with some traffic. I could have maybe dived in through the inside there. Would have been a bit faster, but it's okay as is. Yeah, definitely taking the inside here, trying to hit the checkpoint. Again, if this was done by me, I would have maybe rotated them a little bit. I hope that's a standard that we can eventually establish. But yeah, it's gonna take a while to do that for so many tracks in the database. And right now, a lot of people have put in a lot of work just to get them working at all, and I don't wanna bash that in any way. It's just that in order to make things work a little better, you need to really spend a few more hours on each track. And I get that not everybody wants to do that. I wouldn't want to do that for every track either. I'm definitely picking the ones that I feel are worth my time, so to speak. because I don't have the time for everything. I would likely burn out on the entire thing if I was to attempt that. Yeah, luggage coming in with a wide drift again. I'm just saying that I think that car would be pretty good here, but it's likely still quite twitchy despite being all-wheel drive. So yeah, everything is kind of a handful if it's so light. Also, I don't know what the hell happened here, but yeah, this seemed like a quite the dive bomb. Let's roll this back a little bit. So I brake here, I brake quite early, brake quite a lot, that might have startled that guy. And we get caught up on each other. The thing that I really don't like here is that he still does that, and honestly at that point I think I would have been justified taking them out. Just hitting the rear and securing my own position again. I think that was kind of a shit thing there. But then again, I might have caused part of it by braking so early. I just really wasn't feeling the car anymore at that point. Anyways, next track, and this is actually, by the way, a 4-race event, which is why the races are all so short. The last two are going through Jeju, and honestly, first of all, I don't know what the hell happened there to Llama. Just got kick-flipped apparently, and also Anonymous being in reverse there. Something happening with trash tug, and I try to avoid it and get completely caught on the ledge there. Dang that front spoiler. So once again, chassis damage and radiator damage. The second one being much more severe potentially, but I think it's gonna be fine for this race. But yeah, off to not the best start. And these roads that have been picked for the race here, I mean, they are nice and flowy, but they are also some of the tighter ones around here. And yeah, when you get the wrong twitch, the car just does stuff like that, spin out. I might be able to do something about it, just trying to get things to work out better. Yeah, caught the inside thingies there and just went into the driveway. But yeah, this whole thing not going quite to plan. And this is honestly one of those tracks I didn't really do any practice here. I mean, nothing at all, to be clear. And I'm not even racing at this point. I'm just trying to get through this alive. Like, this is definitely out of my comfort zone, and I think it kind of shows with how the entire thing is going. But at least I'm catching up to some other people. And yeah, there's still luggage somewhere behind me. We are finally out of the town going towards the harbor, I think. And these roads are a bit wider, and if I was to host another event like this, I would definitely pick stuff like that. Because this is so much nicer, apart from maybe, once again, checkpoint placement here, making it impossible to really use the inside bit of corners there. Same over here. And also here at this point. I mean, it's easy enough to just widen the checkpoints a bit in post. But yeah, it's something that maybe needs to be done eventually. I don't think I would be putting the time in for this track because I'm not really a fan of the Jeju bit, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, this is an event commentary, not a track making critique. At least that's not supposed to be, but hey, I can multitask. Or at least I can try. Okay, going around here and out of the harbor again, back towards Jeju city proper for the second lap. And yeah, at least I'm not completely behind everybody else. I'm at least somewhat competitive with the last few people. It's better than nothing. And in the end, having a few good battles is still worth more than just driving on your own the entire time, because that would be boring. I can do that in single player. And yeah, I ended up missing that checkpoint. I should have maybe stayed on the inside of that lamppost there. I mean, kind of the outside, just on the road side of that instead of going straight through. But with how these vehicles behave, it's sometimes really hard, and even if I could correct, I sometimes try not to, just for the fact that any attempt at correction could cause a spin. So sometimes I'm just happy to go somewhere instead of spinning out, and that's also why I don't always do the knee-jerk reaction to correct anything. Oh yeah, and I got caught on that sales sign over there. Kinda want to just buy the plot in order to get rid of that one. Don't think that would be a worthwhile way to spend my funds here, but yeah, it would be something. And now in the rain, things aren't really going better for me. Yeah, sliding off way too much, getting caught on the gutter, and I mean, my suspension in real life would be pretty shot right now, I think. The car might not be able to roll anymore after that. I don't think the wheel alignment would be holding up through all of this stuff. Thankfully, the game doesn't simulate all of that. Otherwise, I would forfeit so many more races because yeah, I would get the vehicle into an undrivable state way quicker. But yeah, for the race now, we are in 14th position out of 15. So yeah, second to last. I mean, if I call the second place the first loser, then 14th out of 15, the second to last place, might be the first winner. I mean, there is some logic. I don't know if it's sound, but there is something there. But yeah, back on the harbor part. Just going around some parts of the area here without touching the actual racetrack. And after that it will just be a straight shot back to the starting line. Or in this case the finish line, because this race is almost over. I gotta say, at least in terms of radiator heat and all of that, the car held up. I didn't feel the need to just drive into the repair station. So it went about as well as it could have according to the circumstances. But yeah, definitely not my track and not my car either. I would have maybe been okay here with a much slower car, but this one is a bit too spicy for this to work for me. But in the end, that's just personal taste. Also nice how the rain stopped the moment I finished. I mean, thank you, game. Okay, last race once again in Jeju City, and funnily enough, this is partially going through the same sections again, the other direction. So it's gonna be tight again, there's gonna be stuff happening, and it's already happening. Right there, Chess got flipped in some way, shape or form, and yeah, other things are happening. Somebody else is doing a barrel roll, and I don't know what happened to Chess over there. Tried to overtake me, it didn't work out too well. And yeah, back through this area, and I just had a little bit of a wiggle there. Tried to get the car under control, but then ran out of road. Tried to go up here, but yeah, I don't know. It felt like the car could do it, but then it didn't, and now I'm back in last place. And yeah, this is the kind of thing, if I see inline 4 again with this kind of track, honestly I think I might be better just skipping it. This wasn't all that fun for me for various reasons at the end of the day, so yeah. Once again coming through here, just getting rid of the little outside barriers. They don't really pose much of a hindrance there. At least if your car isn't unsettled already. But hey, I managed to catch back up with a few other people, so apparently I'm either rather quick or people in front of me just had their own issues to contend with. I think it's the issues part, to be clear. I'm not that fast and I was behind quite a bit. And yeah, back on the main road, enjoying some of that 4-lane goodness. And yeah, this is gonna go into a hairpin. Just leaving town for a moment and then going to cut back around. I haven't done this turn in this direction, so I wasn't really sure how to approach it. So I'd rather err on the side of caution there. Which is why I'm not all that fast around here. Also, once again, while I was maybe a bit more confident about my car going into the event, at this point all confidence is way out the window. Why does stuff like that keep happening? I mean, look at that. Steven already backing up. Me just completely losing the back and just spinning out in the most perfect way to just stop him. If this was me in a police car trying to just be a rolling roadblock, that would have been an amazing maneuver. For a racing event, not so much. Honestly, this track is so tight and twisty, it feels like part of my bus route that I have through here. Do we go past the terminal? If we go past the terminal, then yeah, that might actually be the case there. And yeah, I kinda whiffed on that whole thing. Steven once again, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I tried to not ram him off the road, just out of principle. So remember what I said about the Neo hopefully being more stable due to all-wheel drive? Considering the stuff that I'm seeing right now, I'm beginning to doubt that real quickly. And hey, at least I'm not in last anymore. So one of the best cars might still be the Cobra, but I would need to buy a second one and get all of that tuned. I think I kinda want to maybe spend a bit more time trying to make this thing work better, but we'll have to see about it. Just for the reason that I upgraded this a while ago and I love the paint job and I don't want to just have it waste away somewhere in storage. But yeah, if it does make for a good race car, then yeah, maybe I should forget about it. That would be the natural conclusion to it. And yeah, I think that's almost the end of the race here. We are going to come towards the finish line in a moment. And in the end, it worked out to about the usual length in total. Shorter races, but more of them. I think I like our usual format more, just having 3 races and them being around 10 to or 8 to 10 minutes, somewhere around there. But yeah, this has been kind of an experiment, it seems. At least I hope so. Yeah, it's kind of fun, but I like the more predictable stuff a bit more. I think the game itself is causing a lot of chaos on its own, and adding to that with these cars and this kind of track, it's maybe a bit much for me. But hey, I'm just an old guy at the end of the day, so I'm ready for retirement. Never mind. Enough about the BS. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the matter, and till next time, have a good one, and bye bye.